I built this real estate AI agent that automatically qualifies leads and books appointments like this straight into your calendar 24/7. An AI agent like this is easily worth over $1,000 a month to real estate agents and realtors. Let's go ahead and watch a quick demo on how exactly it did this.
Thank you for calling ATEX Realty. This is Brenda. How may I help you? I can certainly help with that. Make sure I get you the right information. Are you looking to buy a property, sell a property, or both? Perfect. And just for our record, are you currently under a signed agreement with another real estate agent? Okay, Anthony, just to confirm, I have you down for a free consultation on Thursday, August 7th at 9 a.m. Is that all correct? Excellent. The appointment is confirmed, and a text message with the details have been sent. An agent will be in touch. Goodbye.
I'm Anthony, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you the step-by-step on how to build this AI agent from scratch. You can get started for free using the links in the description. Let's get started. So the 3 steps that we're going to use today are, first of all, we're going to need to build the AI voice agent. Second, we're going to need to develop the automated workflow. And 3, we're going to do a quick demo to show exactly how it all works. Starting with number 1, AI voice agent. To do that, we're going to go to a website called VAPI.ai. This platform is basically the #1 platform for developing AI voice agents. So go ahead and go here and click on sign up. Once you've done that, you're going to see a screen that looks like this. And as of right now, we don't have any assistance, so we're going to go ahead and get that set up. So go over here and click on assistance. And we're going to go ahead and create our first assistant. So click on this. All right, and we're going to name it Real Estate AI Agent. Okay, so go here and click Create Assistant. Perfect. So now this is what it's going to look like when you create your first assistant. And all we need to do now is go through some steps to get it all set up. So the provider that we'll use is OpenAI. That's perfect. The model that we'll use is GPT 4.1 mini. Now, the reason why I prefer this model is because it's very balanced. It can handle the instructions well, but it's not also too slow, because some of the models will be just too slow and it's not going to sound realistic anymore. So 4.1 mini is perfect. The next thing to do is set the first message mode. So right now it's set to assistant speaks first. That basically means that when somebody calls your number, the assistant's going to say, hello, how may I help you? Or whatever it is. And they're going to talk first. Okay. Now, next, we're going to fill out the first message. This basically means as soon as the agent picks up the phone, what is the first thing that they're going to say? So it can be something as simple as, hello, how may I help you? Okay. Next, we're going to do the system prompt. And what the system prompt is basically the instructions that the AI agent will use to do whatever that it is that it needs to do. So for example, here we could just say, you are a helpful AI receptionist for Apex Realty. Okay. But again, for this, you want to give it instructions that are as specific as possible. So it does take a long time to test, but I do recommend that you play around with it to see what works. Okay. But for me personally, since I've already spent hundreds of hours developing this, I'm going to get it straight from my community. So in my Skool community, I have all of this information, VAPI prompts, n8n templates, and all that stuff. So I'm just going to click on one of these and then download the file and use it. So I've already downloaded them. So I'm going to go over here, go to downloads, and then I'm going to open up the file called, let's see, first message realestate.json. Okay. Now that I have it, click Control A, Control C to copy, go back over to VAPI, go to first message, Control A, Control V. Perfect, that's done. So also make sure you hit publish every once in a while, just make sure that it saves and you don't lose your progress. Okay. So same thing for system prompt. If I just use this, it's not going to know exactly what to do. So I need to tell it very precisely what I need to do. So go ahead and go over here, double click on the assistant prompt realestate.json. It's going to give you all the instructions. So Control A, Control C. Okay. Control A, Control V. That's done. Hit publish to save. Cool. I won't get too much into the detail here. It just takes a lot of testing to make sure that it does exactly what you need it to do. Okay. Now for the temperature, always set it to 0.4 because, like I said, through hundreds of hours of testing, that's the best. For the voice configuration, you can use whatever you want. Personally, I like to use something called Deepgram, just because the voice is really nice. So let's see, go here and then hit this. Okay. Again, you can test this and choose whatever voice that you want. Perfect. Now, finally, the last thing to do is set up the tools. Okay. So what are tools? Tools are basically tools that we give to the AI agent that allow it to do specialized actions. In this case, we're going to need it to do things like qualify the lead, checking the availability of the Google Calendar, and also booking the appointment. So in this case, we're going to use 3 different tools. And later, when you get more advanced, you might use like 5 or 10 different tools, but we'll keep it really simple today. So make sure we click on publish just to make sure that it saves before we go ahead and create that tool. Okay. Now go over here to the left, click on tools, and then we're going to go up here and click on create tool. The tool that we're going to use today is a custom tool because we're going to build it from scratch. So custom tool. Now the first one we're going to build is called check availability. Okay. So type in check availability. Now we're going to need to give it the parameters. Now, what are the parameters? The parameters basically tell the tool what exact information that it needs to collect. So for example, it's going to need things like the name or phone number, things like that, okay? Now, it does take a really long time to develop this as well. So what I would do is just go to Visual Editor and just click on this. Now, this is going to allow you to paste in the code that automatically finishes it for you. So I'm just going to go over to the files that I downloaded, click on checkAvailability.json. That'll open it for me. So Control A, Control C, right over here, Control V, and paste it in. So as you can see, basically what it's saying is that what we need to collect here is we need to collect an initial search date and time. So this is telling the agent that it needs to find and listen for the time that the client is saying that they want to book an appointment. Okay. So click apply and then save to save that. Okay. Perfect. So moving on to the next tool, click on create tool, custom tool. This one's going to be called book appointment. Book appointment. Now remember, the name actually matters, so make sure it's typed in exactly how I'm showing you here. Okay. Now, parameters here, same thing. We're going to need to tell it exactly what it needs. So I'm going to go over here and make it easy. Double click on book appointment, Control A, Control C, click on Visual Editor, and then Control V, apply. Okay. And also, if you want to see this using no code, you can actually click on this one more time. And then it'll actually show you exactly what it's collecting. So it's collecting a client name, an end date and time, and a start date and time. And so this is the information that it needs in order to book that appointment. Okay. So go ahead and click save to make sure it saves. And perfect, it's saved. So the last thing we're going to need to do is create a tool called qualifyLead. Okay. So create tool, custom tool. The tool is going to be called qualifyLead. Perfect. And same thing, parameters. Click on Visual Editor and get the code. So it's going to be called qualifyLead real estate. Okay. Control A, Control C, Control V, apply. Now, as you can see, it's getting pretty long, pretty fast. So you really want to save that time and get it from my Skool community. So, okay. So here it's asking for a transaction type, whether the client is going to be a buyer or a seller, timeline. So how soon are they trying to buy or sell? If it's 2 years from now, we don't want to work with them because that's just too long. And if they're working with an agent already, we're just going to decline them because that's a waste of time, right? So this is very important when trying to save time with your AI agent. So now that that's done, click on save. Perfect. So now that the tools are done and created, we can actually go back to our assistant and give that to them. So slide back over to assistants. Now slide down to find the tool section. Click on tools, click on select tools, and then go ahead and click on the tools that we just created. So qualify the lead, book the appointment, and check the availability. So as you can see, it's all populated down here. Now we'll just go ahead and click publish, and our assistant is 100% done. Okay. Now the last thing that we need to do here is go over to phone numbers because we need to give it a phone number that it'll answer calls at. Okay. So click on phone numbers. We don't have any created yet, so go ahead and click on create phone number. Now here, you can actually create up to 10 per account for absolutely free. So don't have to worry about paying for anything. So it doesn't really matter what the area code is. We just need a number. So it says 346. So I'll go ahead and try that. Sure. Click on create. This area code is currently not available. Try one of these. So I'll try 631. That's fine. Create. Perfect. So it automatically created for me. The number is right here. And that's basically the number that I will need to call later in order to test it out. And it'll be the number that when you give it to your clients that they'll be able to put on their website and things like that for using this agent. Okay. So the phone number label will just be real estate AI agent. Perfect. All of that can stay the same. And the last thing we need to do is click on assistant and click on the agent that we're going to assign to this phone number. So that's just going to be real estate AI agent because we just built that. Okay. Now that is done, all it's left to do is hit save and it's done. So that is officially the end of setting up the AI voice agent. Now, as I said earlier, step 2 is building the automated workflow. So what do we need to do for that? We need to go to a website called n8n. Okay. Now, again, links in the description so you can find that real easy. So go ahead and click get started for free. Once you've done that, you're going to see a screen that looks like this. It's going to be completely empty. We're going to need to build it out. So now you could build this out manually by hitting add first step, and choosing all of these. Again, it takes hundreds of hours to learn and do all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide over here, click on these 3 dots, then click on import from file. And then I'm going to click on the template that I have built for you guys. So let's see, it's going to be called appointment setter real estate.json. Go ahead and click open. And there it is. It's all done. So as you can see, it's going to start with the VAPI webhook and it's going to go through here and it's going to basically route based on the name of the tool. And then, so based on the name of the tool, it's going to do each of these 3 things. Okay. So if this is the first time you're seeing this is basically a no code workflow automation builder. You just build these nodes and then you link them together and then it goes from left to right, inputs, output, and it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. So now, once you set this up, the first thing that we need to do is actually connect the n8n workflow with the VAPI tool that we created. So the way that we do that is by using a webhook. A webhook is basically something that listens on a URL for any data that's passed over on that URL. So double click on this first one, click on the production URL. Production URL basically means that once we set the workflow to active, then it's going to be constantly listening for information and it's not just for testing. Okay. So this is our URL. So make sure to click this a couple of times, make sure we get that copied, and then go back over to VAPI. And we just need to pass this in over to the tools that we created. So go ahead and click on tools. Now for each of the tools that we created, we'll slide down to the server URL and then paste that in. Okay. So it's going to look just like that. Hit save. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that everybody's server URL is different. So this is going to be mine because this is what I'm using for my website, but yours is going to be different and that's completely normal. And that's exactly what you want. Otherwise, everybody's going to be sending data on the same URL and it's going to get really messy. Okay. So you're going to have to paste in your unique URL. Okay. Now, go over to the second tool, paste this, hit save. That's done. Last tool, go down here, server URL, paste, hit save. Okay, so this is officially completely done, including the tools and hooking it up with n8n. Okay, so now we can go back over to n8n and finish filling this out. So this is also really quick because it only takes 3 steps. It's going to be filling out this, number 1, number 2, filling out the Google Calendar, and number 3, filling out this Google Calendar. So it's really quick. Now, the next thing we're going to do is set the variables for this workflow. So double click here. And here you're basically just going to put simple information like your name, your business name, the service that you provide, your time zone, things like that. So I'm just going to set the time zone real quick. Okay, done. Again, it's just nice to hit save every once in a while to make sure that you don't lose your progress. So the next thing that's going to happen is it's going to route the tool based on the name. So let's say, for example, I make a call and then I'm asking the agent to use a tool called checkAvailability. In the case that it uses the checkAvailability tool, it's going to redirect the workflow over here. And then it's going to work in this code node, which I wrote. It's pretty complicated. And I'm not going to try to explain it, but basically it's going to try to calculate the slots that are available. Okay. And then it's going to go into the Google Calendar in order to get those slots to see which is available. So let's go ahead and set this up real quick. Double click on this. So here you're going to need to set up your credential if you haven't already. So you're going to click on create new credential. It does take about 3 minutes to get this set up, I'm going to link to my video where I can show you how to set that up completely. Okay, so once you've done that, go to calendar. The mode is going to be from the list. And then for here, the calendar is just going to be your calendar. So since I have all my events in this calendar, this is going to be the calendar that I select. Okay, now that is done. And as I said earlier, it's going to run through some more code. I'll just show you that real quick. It basically looks like this, and it's going to do some math in order to calculate what exactly are the open slots. And finally, it's going to use a webhook to send data back to the AI agent so that it knows exactly what those available slots are. Okay. Now, after that is done, the client's going to say, well, I want to book an appointment now. Okay. So then it's going to use the book appointment tool. And then once it realizes that it's the book appointment tool, it's going to send the workflow down here. And basically what that means is it's going to try to book the appointment into that Google Calendar. So let's go ahead and set that up real quick. Double click on this. Same thing here, set your credential that you just built. And then go to calendar from the list and select your calendar. Same exact thing. Just choose your calendar and it's done. And real quick for this one, it's a little bit different because it's going to create the event in the calendar. And in order to do that, we want to pass it some information such as the name, the phone number, qualification details, etc. So once you get more advanced, you can try to change this yourself. But for now, I'll just leave that. Okay, cool. And then it's going to respond to the AI agent that it was booked properly and it's done. So now one thing is that this is actually a really simple implementation of this AI agent. There's a lot of different things that you can do. For example, you could make it send an SMS confirmation after it books the appointment. You can also make it answer frequently asked questions like, what time do you close? What time do you open? Are you open on July 4th? Things like that. You can also make it transfer calls to humans, reschedule appointments, speak every language, machine learning, all of this stuff. It's pretty advanced, and I teach all of this in my Skool community. So if you're interested in learning that, make sure you join at this link right here. Okay. Awesome. So now all is left to do is hit save. And then we need to turn on the workflow to make sure that it's active. And basically what that means is that now it's actively listening for information. So if I were to go ahead and call that phone number and I were to talk to it and I were to say things like, okay, well, check the availability and then book the appointment for me, then it's going to be able to send that data and it's going to end up here and it's going to be able to route that information and run the workflow. So let's go ahead and test it actually right now and see how it works. So we're going to go back over here to look at the phone number so I know what number to call. So click on phone numbers. And I'm just going to call that phone number. Now, remember, this is my phone number. I'm going to delete it after this. But for you guys, when you set this up, you're going to get a unique phone number, and that's going to be the phone number that you call.
Thank you for calling Apex Realty. This is Brenda. How may I help you?
I want to buy a property.
I can certainly help with that. Make sure I get you the right information. Are you looking to buy a property, sell a property, or both?
I'm only looking to buy a property.
Excellent. To help us find the perfect homes in your price range, have you already been pre-approved for a mortgage?
Yes.
Okay, and what is your ideal timeline for moving into a new home?
3 months.
Perfect. And just for our records, are you currently under a signed agreement with another real estate agent?
No.
Perfect. Thank you for that information. Based on that, the best next step is to schedule a free, no obligation consultation with one of our licensed agents. Is that something you'd be open to?
Yes.
Excellent. Which day and time would work best for you to speak with an agent?
What slots do you have available on Thursday?
On Thursday, August 7th, I have available slots at 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., 2 p.m., 4:30 p.m., and 5 p.m. Would any of those times work for you?
Yeah. Could we do 9 a.m. on Thursday?
Great, I can book that for you. And what is the full name?
My name is Anthony.
Okay, Anthony, just to confirm, I have you down for a free consultation on Thursday, August 7th at 9 a.m. Is that all correct?
That is correct.
Excellent. The appointment is confirmed, and a text message with the details has been sent. An agent will be in touch. Goodbye.
All right. And there it is. It's all done. It was able to create it automatically into the calendar. And so now you just watched me build a $1,000 a month AI agent for the real estate niche. Now, if you want all of this information, you can go to my Skool community, link in the description, where you can find all of my proven VAPI prompts, my n8n templates, and you can even go over here to the one-on-one support tab, where you can ask any question that you want, and I will help you to build your workflow and build your agents. So now, if you enjoyed that, make sure to subscribe for more tutorials, and I will see you in the next one.